It's like loving you. Yeah, in the night, in the day, when I'm gone and away, it's like loving you. Yeah, in the night, in the day, when I'm gone and away, it's like loving you. In the night, in the day, when I'm gone and away, it's like loving you. Yeah, and you, yeah. In the night, in the day, when I'm gone and away, it's like loving you. Yeah, in the night, in the day, when I'm gone and away, it's like yeah, in the night, in the day, when I'm gone and away, it's like loving you. Yeah, and you, yeah. Miss Cruz, do your lifetime still look blue? Miss Cruz, I write these words, I speak to uplift moods. Miss Cruz, everything that I said was true. Yeah, I write these words despite the hurt you've been through. Life ain't fair, but it do got beauty. Love a drug we all be abusing. Can't lie, how I felt good inside when you gave me that love I needed and felt useless. Yeah, and nowadays the truth is, I know you heartbroken, clueless, and you don't wanna hear them excuses. Every man keep breaking your faith in Cupid. Loving you. Your heart feel broken, it don't mean love worth closing. And when the doors ain't open, it don't mean your love ain't working. And if the door's still closing, I know somebody else gonna be worth it. Yeah, in the end be assertive, youthful, beautiful, you the one I was choosing. Despite all the fights you've been through in, we both had a life of confusion. And nowadays the truth is, we say the wrong words with loose lips. I know you heartbroken, but truth is, somebody gon' love everything that you is. Loving you. Loving you. I'll be loving you. Loving you. Said I love you. Said I love you. Loving you. Everybody, yeah. I said I'll always be loved. You. Said I love. Said I love, baby.
Papa, you crazy for this one.
I live my days in sin. I pray to God within. I know it's time to win. I run it like again. Scooter is the realest. Scooter is the trillest. Get up out your feeling. Need to go get some healing. Cause they really sleeping. I never really was creeping. Somebody call up LA. It's time for a fucking meeting. Tell Hov I need my meeting. They say I'm here breathing. I got plenty of seedling. It's time to do some feeding. Chef Scooter is proceeding. Chef Scooter is the nigga. Chef Scooter cook it up. Chef Scooter whip it up. Chef Scooter turn it up. You bout to get it up. Chef Scooter, Chef Scooter, Chef Scooter. Hey.
I'm so raw in, uncut, and they know. 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 I'm some, sit back and listen to me flow. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Hickory dickory dot, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 12. It's a new day, it's time to turn it up a notch. Turn it up. Hickory dickory dot, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 12. It's a new day, it's time to turn this bitch up a notch. I was created to be what they can't be. These hoes so worrisome like some gum at the bottom of my feet. Bitch, get the fuck up off of me. Dragging these hoes through the dirt and the concrete. Anything it takes to get a bum bitch up off of me. I told her hating hoe on a TV screen, it's the only way she gon' see me. It's 2024 and it's a new wave. I got 365 days just to get paid. It's time to cut these hating hoes off like a fresh fade. Get to a bag. I can do this shit like Ari Reed. I'm so raw in, uncut, and they know. And I'm blessed from the tip to my head to my toes. This here's the real raw. Let's talk, show. And if you wanna learn some, sit back and listen to me flow. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. If it's about some money, let's talk about it. If it can change the world, let's talk about it. If you're an entrepreneur, let's talk about it. I'm so raw in, uncut, and they know. If I'm blessed from the tip to my head to my toes, this here's the real raw. Let's talk, show. And if you wanna learn some, sit back and listen to me flow.
This wig is just not doing for me today. What's going on, everybody? Y'all know it's 7 o'clock. It is Real Raw Let's Talk hour. I'm your host, T Pretty Smile, the host of Real Raw Let's Talk. And if it's your first time, thank you for joining in first and foremost, okay? So like I said, I'm your host of Real Raw Let's Talk. And Real Raw Let's Talk is a podcast where we talk about real and unfiltered conversations. And who am I? I'm T Pretty Smile. I'm a mompreneur. I'm a motivational speaker. Also, I'm a list of things, okay? And you got to go find those other things out. We're not going to waste no time on all of that. So I want to give y'all props because it's Thursday. And you know what? It's Thursday. And you done made it almost to Friday, which means it's closer to the weekend and it's closer to you not giving a damn. So give yourself a round of applause because you done made it to Thursday past hump day, okay? And also, if you like me, your kids are out of school. And y'all, we done made it. No more getting up early in the morning. No more early rides. No more alarm clocks going off for your kids to take them to school. I know y'all excited, ain't you? But you mad at the kids at home. I know you is. I know you is. It's all right. We're going to make it this summer. We're going to make it. So let's get into these church announcements. All right, y'all. So church announcements for this week. For one, let's talk about Tubi Tuesday. So if y'all ain't seen Tubi Tuesday, where I give you what's hot to watch on Tuesday from Tubi Tuesday, as I call it, this week was the movie Tempted. You can go on to my YouTube. You can go to my TikTok. You can also go on to Real Raw Let's Talk page as well as the T Pretty Smile Facebook page. Well, you will see I give a review, and the review for Tempted, y'all, Tempted was good. Tempted had the right title for it. Tempted was good. Get your spray bottles out, baby, because it was spicy. You hear me? It was spicy. So make sure y'all go check out that movie. If you need a movie night with your good old, get your movie together, and it's Tempted for this week. Make sure y'all check out Spence Cocky Gear. That's www.SpenceCockyGear for your latest gear. We got kids, we got unisex, we got plus size, we got your new bags, we got bonnets. I'm gonna show y'all this week's new bonnet that I was sporting. And if it get hot in the next segment, y'all don't see me with this on, y'all know I'm pulling out the bonnet. So this week's bonnet looks like this. We got all different styles and different colors. Cocky is all about loving yourself fully. So y'all check out the bonnet for this week. I think I got it upside down. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Cocky is all about loving yourself fully. If you've seen your girl in a photo shoot, you see me. I have my Army Fatigue shirt on as well. So y'all go check out www.spenceCockyGear.com. Use your girl code Real Raw Let's Talk 2 so you can get your discount when you're checking out. Okay. Another thing also while you at the SpenceCockyGear.com, make sure you go check out the sling bag. I know y'all been seeing me promote the sling bag because it's summertime. Y'all taking summer trips. Y'all going to the movies. And y'all know that y'all don't like paying for at the movies. It's too high for the tickets. So y'all know y'all been sneaking in snacks and goodies in the movies since 1975. So go ahead and get your cocky sling bag so you can stuff them goodies up in that bag, okay? Now, also, let's get into Inspire Her. Past weekend, we had an event with Inspire Her Foundation. Inspire Her Foundation is all about providing resources to women everywhere. And those resources consist of career growth, domestic violence resources. We do a lot of resources. So y'all go check out inspireherfoundation.org. If you're a woman, if you're a lady, if you need resources, if you need anything concerning women, please go check us out. This past weekend, we had an event where we had Miss Nina giving out a good mental health talk to the ladies. Your girl was an MC, and we had a wonderful time. Shout out to the ladies who pulled this off. We had such a great event. So if you want to be part of Inspire Her, please go check them out. Again, you will not miss it out. Let's see here. What's some other church announcement we got going on tonight? Let's talk about what we got going on for the night. Okay, so tonight we have a special guest, Miss Paris in the building. Miss Paris Honeycutt. If you watched last week's episode where we had Mommy's Night Out in the building, you would remember Miss Paris was one of our special guests, and Miss Paris is going to be on for tonight as well. So y'all definitely don't want to miss. This night is going to be a special edition. We're going to be talking about co-parenting, single and being and having to deal with co-parenting. So this is going to be a very good episode if you are a parent, if you deal with co-parenting, if you don't deal with co-parenting, how to co-parent, what's a healthy relationship in co-parenting, all things with being single and co-parenting. We're covering it tonight. Okay, so you definitely want to stay tuned. We're going to pull Miss Paris in a little bit right after this commercial break. So y'all come back in just a minute after this commercial break, and we're going to introduce Miss Paris. All right? Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The story goes as we unfold. Life reveals our purest soul. What we don't know is how we'll grow, but we must show love. Yes, there's reasons that I'm fragile, and I bet you'd like
I beat the odds, even when society said I wasn't gonna make it. Overcome 'em, all them distractions, I had to shake 'em. One man band, no inheritance, I got it off the land. This is that gas. I'm a different type of strand. This that type of smoke make you tap into your pineal glands. This that type of smoke that can get rid of many mans. This that type of smoke that you can't handle. I put belt the ass, light a nigga ass up like a candle. Secret animosity, they shoot shots but they can't aim. Young niggas dying every day behind fame. Fuck nigga took my brother out the game. I swung on these niggas' neck like $100,000 chain. Fuck nigga.
I'm sorry, I'm looking for me. Sorry. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for coming back. As I said, we got a special guest in the building. We got Miss Paris in the building with us today, Miss Paris Honeycutt. Paris, I appreciate you coming back, honey, because we had to bring you back for this conversation. Like you hit me up and you was like, "Look, I want to come back. I want to talk again. I want to talk some more." And this topic man, was actually your idea, and I'm so happy for it because it was very, very much needed. So it's such a pleasure for you to have me, for you to come back. It just warms my heart.
Well, thank you for having me again. I'm super excited to be here. Like last week's show was great, and I was like, you know what? Let me tap back in because we have some more to talk about.
Okay. We really, really do. Like, so y'all, if y'all didn't see last week's, definitely tap in. Last week we covered a lot on motherhood and we talked about the group Mommy's Night Out. And I can't wait to hang with the ladies for sure. And this week again, we're gonna cover being single and also covering co-parenting and how to navigate through both of those. So I want to start off with like what can you define co-parenting? Like, what does co-parenting look like for you?
Well, it's pretty new to me. Maybe about the last year, my
Hmm.
son's dad and I have just really tapped into co-parenting because it was not like that before. It was very much divided. Like it was just years, like almost 13 years of just going back and forth, back and forth. Like we're coming up on our 14th year. And honestly, after last summer, like we just really, yeah, it's almost been a year. We just, I don't know, because we just kind of tap back into each other. I sent him a text like, hey, well, we got to come to some type of common ground. And we had been talking like around each other like for so many years, and I would talk through his mom, and I'm just like, I'm sick of this, you know what I'm saying? Like I know I had my reasons and he had his, but it's just like our son's about to be 14, like something has got to give.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it looks like it's not just me. You know what I'm saying? It's not just me fiscally. It's not just me physically. It's not just me. He's not sparingly anymore. Like, oh here, oh there. He's like really hands on now, like with the calls and like the not even just like the business, just being around, being like way more involved. And it's like such a
Mm-hmm.
relief to me because before I'm just like, am I really gonna have to do this, until he's like 18. And I'm so thankful for it. Like, and like I said, it's still very new. I'm getting used to it because it's like, oh, now I can like hit you up and ask you for something, and it's like whatever it is, and it's like, yeah, okay. Or there are some cases where I don't have to. It's just, he's taking the initiative to do it, and I know that he had to grow in a lot of areas, and so did I. But I think I had to grow up a lot faster because mama's baby, like it's
Right.
it's like what were my other options? So yeah, it's I don't want to say it's weird, but like I do have like men that have like tried to talk to me, inbox. They're like, So for context, you've seen it on my IG. My son's dad and I and my son, we all took family pictures last month. And some people are like, wait, hold on, are y'all together? And then I'm like, I know how it looks, but it's like, no, we're not.
Yeah.
But we are creating this healthy dynamic for our son to be like, why can't your
Mhm.
parents coexist? And even further than that, like, have some type of friendship or be more than cordial, because that's not fair. People like, oh, I'm growing up in a single parent home. I don't even say single parent anymore, because I just feel like a single parent is somebody that doesn't get help, and I feel like a
Mhm.
co-parent. So I'm kind of getting out of that stage, but it's so far so good, and we have more than an understanding with each other. Even some days, he'll be like, oh, like, hey, like, what's going on? And I'm like, hey, like, you good? Just because we knew each other, of course, like years before we even thought about my son. Like, we had a lot of mutual friends, and we were like friends together. So it wasn't just like, oh, I met him when I got older. So there is like history behind that within itself.
Got you.
So, and our families are so intertwined, and it's just like we had to put the egos aside and the pride. And it's like, we got to make this work. And we only have one kid together. So, yeah.
Mm. Girl, them egos be something else. Okay?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Them egos be something else. But I did see the picture where you and him were together, and my first thought too was like, oh, they together. And then I remember you saying on the show like you were single. And so I
Uh-huh.
was like, wait, but she said she's single.
The
But
pictures
then
look very much, I'm not even
it's
gonna lie.
given. It's
If
given.
if I didn't know the situation, I would be like, okay. Because our photographer was like, when we walked in, he was like, oh, so I want to get y'all two first. And we both looked at each other, started laughing. We were like, no, it's like a co-parenting, photo shoot. He was like, okay, this is new, but I love it. Like, he was like, y'all sure? Like, y'all look, because like we do look, it looks good, like aesthetically. You know what I'm saying? It's very,
Mhm.
but we know we just wanted to do that for our son, because it's been a long time coming. But yeah, I've got that. Like, are y'all sure you're not? I'm like, you got a whole girlfriend.
Yeah. But see, that's the healthy things that we don't get to see. Like me and my daughter, and her dad, we did it for Christmas a couple years back.
Mm-hmm.
We did Christmas photos like that. And everybody's like, you back together with him? Like, ugh. And I'm like, nah, but I didn't want to steal that joy of taking Christmas photos from my daughter, because my
Yep.
daughter wanted to take Christmas photos and she kept
Mm-hmm.
seeing her friends. Everybody was taking Christmas photos.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to take that from her. Like, we're both here together finally. Why not just give her Christmas photos? And I felt like I was stealing that from her, and he was too. And so I was like, you know what? Let's do some Christmas photos. We ain't together, but hey, let's do this.
Let's
Even
do
when
it.
it
Yep.
came, yeah. And I feel like sometimes, I think a lot of times we need to take ourselves out the picture,
Oh, for
literally,
sure.
to make it focus on the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I'll speak on myself, even when it came down to child support with my daughter, they ask you, I don't know if you've dealt with child support, but when they ask you, like, they have to give this X amount of dollars. They'll tell you like, okay, this is visitation, blah blah blah. Is there something that you want to put in place? Do you disagree? Girl,
Mm-hmm.
my first thing was, I said, yeah, I do disagree. I said I want it to be where if it's his weekend or it's my weekend, I want it to be where, hey, we have to come to do something as a unit, regardless whoever with who.
Right.
We have to
Right.
do something as a unit with my daughter. And the judge even looked and was like, what? And I said, yeah. I said, I don't care if he has her or I have her. He has to come over. I have to go over there. It doesn't matter. We have to meet up and do something as a unit where we're all
Yep.
together. I don't want my child to be like, okay, all my time is over there with my
Split.
dad. I don't want her to
Mm-hmm.
feel split. I want her to still see that we can still be cordial, that we still are a unit. I don't want her to feel like mommy versus daddy. I don't want her to
Exactly.
feel
And they
like
can
that.
feel that energy. Not only that, they can
Girl,
see it.
yeah.
And it's just like, if we can come together for however long it is, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, like whatever, like we should be mature to do that, because this is lifelong. That's what, and a lot of people don't like to see that, because there's always a negative connotation with that. And
Yeah.
yes, to answer your question, I have dealt with child support. Like, I took my son's dad off of child support though. And so
Girl.
Because
Girl.
this is the thing. Like, even when we were on like not as, I guess, good terms as we are now, I was like, honestly, I was like, this shit ain't even worth it. Like, and he was like, mind you, my son is his oldest, but he's not his only child. And I was just
Hmm.
like, he was like, it was doing him more harm than good, and honestly for me too, because I mean, you think about it, but you gotta split that shit 5 ways.
It
You
ain't
know, and
getting harder
sometimes it's
yet.
like, oh, whoever filed first or the oldest gets like whatever, and then like the state takes a portion, and then like he was still sending me money even though like he was on child support. So I had like went through this whole thing with him, and the lady was like, "You sure?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "He's been giving me this, like he don't miss. It's like clockwork every month. Um, it's always the same or more." And so I was like, "Cool." Um, and so we worked it out. And he didn't even know that I was going to take him off. Like, I had a court
Mm.
date, and then I came. I was like, hey, I took you off. He's like, are you serious? I was like, yeah. He's like, wow. Wow. Because he was, like I said, it was still like accruing, but he was still giving me money. So I was just like, I'm the fair person. I'm fair. Like, even though, like, it was like years ago, like, we were literally at odds, but he was giving me money and I was reporting it because that was the thing to do. I was like,
Yeah.
I cannot stomach him right now, but I'm going to do what's right, because sometimes I look at that as a gift, but I was like, that's for him. So I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, he's not giving me anything when he was. You know, so I believe in good and bad karma. So I'm like, yeah, of course I'm reporting it. They're like, oh, he gave you this. How did he give it to you? So I was just like, I was done with that. And it works for the both of us. You know, the courts are like, well, you can always reverse it if. I'm like, baby, we got like 3.5 more years with, before our son like goes off to college. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
you can keep it up. I don't foresee us having a problem. And if so, like, if that did come up, like, I would not go back through all of that. But we have a really good relationship right now.
See, that's good. When you got that understanding and when you
Mhm.
doing right, I don't see no problem with that. Like if you doing right, you got, you actually doing what you supposed to be doing as a father, it shouldn't be no problem with that. But
There
when you got
shouldn't.
these fathers out here that are not doing what they supposed to do, and that'd be my thing. If you can do everything else, X, Y, and Z, but you can't pay child support, that's where my problem be.
And
Like you
and
can you can go ahead, girl.
no, I'm just saying, like, I agree with you. And it was not always, I go back to the beginning. It was not always like that because, again, my son is not his only child.
Uh
He is
huh.
his oldest. So it's like, I'm like, you're not doing anything. If I'm being transparent, like, you're not giving me anything, when he wasn't. And then you have more kids. I'm like, hold on. Like, I'm getting pissed because I'm like, what are you doing? Like, so
Yeah.
it took him a while to just, like, even people know what they're supposed to do. They're not going to do it until, honestly, like, they feel like it. And by the
Mm-hmm.
time he honestly started, I guess, really slowly coming around, I had threw my hands up. I was like, you know what, I'm done. Like, I wasn't even fighting anymore. I was like, you gonna do whatever you gonna do. And we've had a lot of long talks. So, he's like, I know I was young. I'm like, baby, I was young too, but I had to tap in real quick. Like,
By no choice.
by no choice, because I'm look like a mom, and then I don't want to say men get a pat on the back, but it's kind of like, oh well, shit, men do that anyway. So like, why you complain? It's like, but if I did it, I
Yeah.
would be like, mommy dearest. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you
Yep.
can help me, So it wasn't always like this, but I'd rather it had started out like that and be where it is now than vice versa, especially with my son being a lot older now. Like, he didn't know what was going on back then. But it's still some stuff that I'll be like, hey, like, you need to brush up on this. I get that you got to switch your time up and that you also have a life, but
Yeah.
that's not, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how you're going to do it, but it needs to
Mm-hmm.
be done.
But see, it seems like y'all have really good communication, like where you're able to even
Oh, yeah.
approach him
Yeah.
that way. Because
Um,
most dads do, or I ain't gonna say most dads, but when you do try to approach a man about anything, or even be like, hey, I need you, to do X, Y, and Z, or you don't need to talk to her this way. I need you to come to her this way. It's
Hmm.
taken as an insult. It's taken as I know my child. You know what I mean? It's a different approach, and it's like I said, that ego.
And then it
It
turns
is
into something different. It's like, baby, I was
yes,
asking you for something. Now you mad because you feel like I had an attitude, which I probably did, but it surfaced from you not doing like
what you're supposed to do.
exactly like as uncomfortable as it is to get asked those questions. I guess from a man, like when you gonna do this? I don't want to ask you either because that's like somebody asking for their money back and they scared. It's like, but you owe me.
Come
Like
on
I don't
now.
want to ask you. You don't want me to ask. Like I don't want to tips. It's kind of like that, but I will ask him like, hey, like you still? He'd be like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm like an over communicator. And if he got something to do, like if it's on the calendar or whatever, he'll wait till the day of. Like we have already scheduled it. He'd be like that morning, like still at 12. But I would have asked him like during the week, and I'm like, he like if I didn't cancel or if I haven't changed plans, it is what it is. But me, I need like more confirmation. But I've learned like everybody doesn't move like I move. But it's like as
Mhm.
long as he don't forget it or he's on time with it, it just is what it is. Or I'll be like, hey, you still? He'd be like, yep, like I know, Perry. But it's still stemmed
I
in
think that's a man. I think that's a man in general.
a girl. It could be that, or it could be he knows I can get real rowdy because he knows how I can be and how I have been with him. It comes to a point to where he's like, I don't want no problems. Because he'll shut down like okay, and I'm just like so it comes from like I know how this person can be, and then it's kind of like it's a little bit of growth too, like okay, like we on the same, what I'm saying, we on the same page, and we
Mhm.
still talk a lot about other stuff that we want to do with our son. Like he didn't even talk to my son about this, but he was like, hey, I'm about to help him like do like an LLC, da 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 da. He's about to start like he has stuff set up, and I'm like, he could tell that to my son. I want to know, but he'll come to me first, like, or I'll be like, what you think about this or what you think about that? And because I'm like, your input matters. And also, even the slightest thing, I don't want it to just be me making the decision.
Mhm.
So it works out for us now. I think honestly, I don't want to say, well, I will say a downside. Like, this gonna sound so selfish. Because he has other children, and I'll be like, he missed out on a lot of time with my son when our son when he was younger because he was just like in the wind doing whatever, and I'll be like in my head I'm like, you owe my baby.
Mm.
Not and even though it was pretty much the same story with his others, but I'm like, I'm not worried about like I'm like, you owe my baby.
That ain't selfish. That's real.
It is. And I love his other children to death. Like I love them so much. Like I love my son's siblings, but I'll be like, that one's mine. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be like,
Right.
you owe like, but I know that there's not enough time in the day. I know he can't go back in time and make up for it. But I do get a
But you got
little
now.
because you
You
got
got
now
now.
because he had
Yeah.
missed something recently because he had to do something for one of his other kids, and I was like, he's like, I was like, nope. I was like, you've been with Peyton like a lot lately, and I was like, I know you have other children where they're all like local, but I was like, go ahead, and he like, all right. He knows he's only one person and he can't be stressed, so I know that is something that he doesn't even disclose to me, but I know he'd be like low key stressed because he like I can't make everything. And then his kid, like they're different ages. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he really cannot be there. And I'm like, everybody has to pay at some point in time.
Mhm. That's
You
why I be like, when people be talking about Nick Cannon, and I'm like, he got all these kids. Somebody's lacking
somebody's getting
somewhere.
left out. And I don't mean financially.
Somebody left out.
I mean emotionally. You cannot
Exactly.
literally you cannot tap in to everybody full
Everybody.
time. It's impossible. It's been
Yep.
scientifically proven. Like even when he's here with my with our son, he will put his phone on D&D. Like, hey, I'm with my son right now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it just is what it is. It sucks, and I just be sitting back like I only got one. But I've told him a couple months ago, and we were laughing. I said, you have this many additional people in your life. I was naming all the baby mamas and all the kids, and he was like, I know. I'm like, you added that many more people to your life, so you got this many more personalities to deal with. The kids and their moms. I don't think people think about that. Like Nick Cannon, when he got 12 kids, let's say he does have 12 baby mamas. That's an extra, what, 24 people?
Right.
People be like, here, I'm like, it's true. You're breaking
It's
that
true.
down. You do not only affect yourself, you affect
Affecting them
everybody
women.
involved.
Hmm.
That's
People
why
do not think about that at all.
they don't.
They
And
don't.
be spreading yourself thin, really. Like, and then I'd be like, this man has to have some time for himself.
Yep.
You know, I
And
don't,
it.
regardless of, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you a man, you made these kids. Realistically, I know he needs to unplug at some time too. But I couldn't imagine, it's literally always going to be something, whether it's good or bad. Somebody's going to
Yep.
be hitting you up about something regarding your children.
Yep. And then I think too, like, I feel like he's automatically, not to be on Nick Cannon, because Nick Cannon, I like you, but I just feel like I always feel like you, because he can't emotionally or physically be there for everyone at the same time. I feel like you're automatically bringing in kids into a broken home, automatically off top.
Automatically, like, without a second thought, automatic. Because I hate when people be like, oh, he got the money. Money
Money
can be
can't fix
made.
everything.
Money, it's not everything, because you know how many Christmases, like, well, some Christmases my son's seen his dad, and then some he'll like maybe see him the day after, the day before, you know, or like some Christmases I'm like, hey, we're gonna be out of town. This past Christmas, December 2024, we were all together. Literally, that was not planned. I thought he was just gonna have my son. He ended up taking me, him, and my son had dinner together. We all went out, and then we came back to the house. We played games. I was like, whoa. Like, that was a special moment. We had never done that, and it was so impromptu because I thought
Aww.
he was coming to just get him because I wasn't tripping. And he was like, no, like, we're gonna go. And I'm like, okay. Last fall, like, we I think we went to, they were supposed to go get their haircuts. And then he was like, you coming with us? And I was like, no. He's like, man, just come with us. We end up going to dinner and stuff. And I'm just like, this is how it's supposed to be.
Supposed to be. Yep.
And my son told me when he got back home that night, he was like, you and dad actually laughed. And that hurt me so much because I know that he would hear us, like me in my room, like going off on him, or like, you know, in the past. And I was like, yeah. And, you know, I had to kind of tell my son, I'm like, you know, I actually, like, we had you for a reason. Like, I liked your dad at one point. You know, it was, I don't want to say bad time. And like, we thought we was grown. You know, when I had him, I just did not think it was going to be how it was.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is what it is now, and it's great now. But we definitely have went years without talking to each other before.
Mm. I definitely understand that. We're gonna take a good commercial break, y'all, here in just a moment. Because we're gonna dive back into. I want to come back to that. Not speaking for a few years and about what was that transition like, getting back to talking with each other. And what does that look like? So y'all, we're gonna take a commercial break. Come back and y'all stay tuned because we got more with co-parenting with Miss Paris.
Alone, no company. My phone can't comfort me. A drug is what this could be. So much secrecy, it ain't healthy, no. Am I satisfied? Look into my eyes. Is there any light? Or is it dead inside? Fighting for my life. Can you just take me for a ride? Oh, I don't know. All I seem to do is isolate, 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 isolate. All I know how to do is isolate, isolate, oh, isolate, isolate, oh, isolate, isolate. Going home,
took my brother out the game and swung on these niggas' neck like $100,000 chain. Fuck nigga.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back. Welcome back. I told you it's gonna be a short break because we're talking about some good stuff tonight. Y'all, welcome back. Miss Paris in the building. And we've been talking about co-parenting, single and co-parenting, all things of co-parenting. Paris, again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We have been just followed up about just how a healthy relationship goes in co-parenting and what are some things that are not healthy with co-parenting. So for all those who have kids out there, parents that are in the home, out the home, this is definitely the conversation for you tonight to tune in. So, coming back from break, I want to dive into about the father not being in the home. So, so does Peyton's dad? He's outside the home, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so does he still lead in the home?
Peyton, like not my home, essentially, no. And just because it's like, I don't want to say we have different. We do have two parenting styles, but we come together as when we need these. So like yes, because it's some stuff. Even recently, he told me with Peyton, he's like it wasn't like him more so asking me. He's like, hey, I'm doing this with him. I want you to. And I'm like, okay, like if that's what you're gonna do, I don't have a dog in that fight. I'm not against it. I'm not arguing with you about it. Like, cool, And it's been stuff. I'm like, oh, let's do this. He's like, nope, I got it. I got it. So I trust him to do what a lot of things that he's going to do with Peyton.
Hmm.
So yeah, he does lead him, but like lead my home now, just because
Oh, she
like
said. She said it's
no,
my
no,
shit
no,
right
no,
here.
no. Yeah, you don't leave my home. I do listen to what he says. I take into consideration. Like, it's very few times I'll disagree with him, or I'm like, hey, this is cool, but like maybe not this, or some stuff he'll be like, I don't think that's a good idea, and I'm like, ooh, now that I think about it, like you're right. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll check me and I'll check him. Respectfully, he's like, maybe not right now, or I'll be like, I was gonna do this with him, or he'd be like, nope, let me go ahead and like he'd be like, no, let me do that. Like I've already planned. I'm like, cool. Again,
Okay.
and I think a lot of that is because I'm thinking for him, like, and he's told me that before, like, I don't usually think for me, but I'm just thinking, I know you have other children that you have to, and he'll be like, I got it. Like, if I said I'm gonna do, you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, okay. But me, I'm still so, like, over considerate. And I'm just like, I've learned to step back. Look, he a grown man. If he say he got it, he got it.
Okay. Okay. See, I do have two different like styles of parenting.
Like I told you on break, like, I'm the fun police. It's like when he's here, I'll be like, "Can you believe Peyton did that?" And he'll be like, "Oh, so like exactly how it was." I'm like, are we not?" And he'll be like, kind of like, "Oh, a boy's gonna be." I'm like, "No." Like, or he'll be like, he'll laugh about it. He'll be like, "Come on, Peyton, like, but you can't be doing that." So I'm freaking out about something, and he over here laughing. But I get it because Peyton is with me majority of the time. So baby, I
Mhm.
be done had it up to here, but him, he's like, "Okay, it's my son. I've been a teenage boy before, so." It's him literally looking at himself in the mirror. Like, he's mirroring himself. So he don't think it's fun, or he's gonna be like, you know, you really tripping over nothing. This is normal. So yeah, he lets him get away with some stuff to where like I would like be like no, and then some stuff like if I call him about, he's like, you doing it all wrong. Like, you should have been nipped that in the bud, or because me, all that stuff build, and I'm like, I didn't have to say it
Mm-hmm.
12 times. He can look at him and he'll get straight.
And it's a
And
wrap.
like, yeah, and like we said, it's that male presence, it's that male dominance
Yep.
that a woman just not does not have. Because I can yell, he gonna be like, his dad talks to him so calmly, and he know he ain't playing no games. Because he'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
did you tell dad? I'll be like,
See, and I'm gonna speak for the moms who don't have the dad in the household. I mean, I know your
yeah, he's
co-parent is in the household
right,
either, but mine completely is wiped out, not there whatsoever.
right.
So I'm gonna speak on the co-parenting part for those moms out there. For those moms that the dad is in jail or you don't deal with at all. I'm gonna speak on that side of co-parenting for us. Um, I was using when it comes to discipline. My daughter, my daughter's 10, and so like at one point I was like fed up, and I was like, you know what, like, oh, I'm gonna call your dad, and mind you, me and him, we have known each other over 15 years, things like that. And I thought, he could help, in that
Hmm.
realm. But when they didn't even have that relationship, they did when she was younger. But as she grew older, he became an in and out dad.
Mm,
So I thought that me telling her, like, okay, I'm gonna call your dad was gonna help, and I called him. And it wasn't until one day she was telling my mom, and she's like, she calls my dad and use it as a punishment. And I had to realize, self-reflect, and I was like, she don't even see that as a help. It was more
right.
like a help, cry
A
for help for
hindrance.
me.
Yeah, like, what are
Yeah.
you doing? Like, you know
Yeah.
better, mom. Like, you know he's not gonna really,
What
like,
is he
come on.
gonna do? Yeah. And so as a note for those parents, like, you gotta take a mirror sometimes to yourself and be like, who is that really helping? Is it helping the child, or is it helping you, or is it helping nobody? And I
Hmm.
had to take a mirror at myself, and I was like, you know what, it ain't helping either one of us. None of us in the picture. So why are
Yeah,
we even doing that?
yeah.
So
But
yeah.
like I said, it took us a long time. When I tell you, like, my mom told me, because I was like, I was at a point years ago. I was probably when Peyton was like 4 or 5. I was like, hey, he ain't gonna meet his life. Like, I'm cool. Like, his parents was. So I was like, shit, I guess I'm gonna just have to, like, that's just what it'll be. You know what I'm saying? And so
Mhm.
that is not even when he came around fully. Like, that's when he kind of slowly started to turn the corner, and then he's backed up a couple times, and I'm like, hey, well, what's up? Like, you gonna be in or out? Because now he's older and it's getting very obvious. And I was okay, like, if he wasn't gonna be around. And then my mom told me, she was like, God can prick anybody's heart. And I used to get so mad. I'm like, stop saying that. Like, this is a horrible situation.
Girl.
Because transparent moment, he, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but we keeping it real, real raw.
Keeping it real, real raw.
He did not meet Peyton physically until he was 4.
Oh wow.
Because he was really like, I didn't want kids. And you, girl, it was a whole,
A
and I'm like,
whole shindig.
yeah, like, kind of like, I'm going to make you suffer.
Oh damn. And
Yeah.
girl, you didn't turn the other cheek for real. Mama wasn't lying. God, Jesus can change people's hearts.
Yes, like, that's why, girl, people was like, wait, like, what's going on with y'all? Like, y'all, I'm like, I be telling, so when people be saying, and I'm not minimizing anybody's problems, like, oh, my baby daddy, I be like, I always say, maybe if you knew my story, of course I'm not gonna go, "Yeah, baby," because there's way more to it. But like, physically, like, he met him when he was 4, and like, but you know what? I never stopped sending him pictures of him. I never stopped sending him videos.
Oh wow.
Like 80% of the time he wouldn't respond. Sometimes he would just be like, "Oh, he got big." And mind you, we're all here in Dallas. I ran into him a couple times while I was out. Luckily, I didn't have my baby with me, but I was just like, Oh, okay. You know, but
Girl, and you didn't hit him? Girl, God is good.
I'm
God
just
is,
like,
oh,
you know,
we drank for you.
yes, honey. You know, so
Hmm.
I was just kind of like, this what you it was like you're really making me suffer. And I was just like, who the hell did I get? I was young, you know what I'm saying? And even though like we weren't together, I just knew in my mind, I'm like, okay, he comes from, you know, a decent family, a good family. So do I. So I was like, at the very least, I know he gonna be there for my child. Like I was never thinking it was gonna be how it was in the beginning. Like when I say like we didn't talk, I think I saw him once when I was pregnant, and I think I was like 8.5 months. Like we did not talk my whole pregnancy. I think we might have talked once or twice, and it was like on some like you need to not contact. Like, girl, it was bad. Like, I don't.
Wow.
So for us to be here, and
Girl.
you know, he's apologized, but I got to be honest. Like, he's like, I'm sorry for like everything that I did, but I'd be like, I'd be wanting a more specific apology.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'll be
I'm
like,
here with it.
you know, and I have forgiven him, not because like, oh my son, like I truly have, because even when I talked about it in therapy, my therapist was like, because baby, he caused a lot of trauma on me. She was like,
Yeah.
have you truly forgiven him? And I was like, yeah, you know, I have. But I still feel like at some point in time he feels or felt like entitled, like, well, we got a baby together, so you know what I'm saying? It was just so
Mm-hmm.
many like you have my first son, and I actually had Peyton on his mom's birthday. So it's like
Oh
all of these.
wow.
So it's just like, you
Girl.
know, it's kind of like, honestly, that ego, like, well, you'll be okay, but I'm always going to have access to you because we have a kid together. It was like, I felt like sometimes it was that entitlement, like, well, you'll get over it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
you'll get over it. Or like, I've let you suffer for a long time, but you know, when we got to
It's time
talking,
for you to get
like,
over it.
yes,
Hmm.
you know, and then I didn't understand what he was going through. He's like, I was in a really dark place. And I'm like, cool, nigga, so was I.
That part.
I didn't have time to soak in it, though. I didn't have time to unplug from the world and then do whatever I wanted to do. You know,
I ain't
I
had
still
time
had.
to do me. I feel you, sis. I
That's
feel
why when
you.
I be like, oh, I co-parent people, like, I'm like, baby, it was a whole nightmare and a half before. Like, and sometimes, I ain't even gonna lie. Sometimes I'll have like flashbacks or like something triggers me, like, and I won't tell him, but like, I'll be in my bed like, did this shit really happen? Like, I'm really pissed all over again. I know it was 5, 6 years ago that this, like, maybe specific situation happened, but like, I'm mad. And then I'll be like, I've come so far from it though. But like, you know, the mind,
Hmm.
we remember, it's not trained to forget. Like, we remember. And the body keeps the
Yeah.
score too. So if
Yeah.
something's happening to me and I'm like, this happened around the time that he did this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I will get
Yeah.
a little upset.
Girl, I feel you. I feel you. It's that mentality that and like you said, that entitlement. You know, like, all right, now it look years have passed. You should be over by now. Girl,
Mm-hmm.
I be one of two piece. My baby daddy sometimes. Like
Or
if I
like,
could
I
just
apologize. Or like, okay, I'm hearing it
yeah,
now.
I
Like, it's
said I'm
like,
sorry.
just because you want
I
me
was
to be quiet, like, what are you sorry for? How are you going to fit? Like,
how have you changed? How are you going to change? What did we learn from that? Like, how do you see that this needs to change? How can we not let that occur again? Like, you know what I mean? And I totally feel you on that, girl. Woo, girl. You know, woo.
the only other, I guess, challenge, like, I'm not dating right now or anything, but like I said earlier, I have had guys say, like, are you sure you're not with nobody? Because I seen your picture, I was like, oh, that's just my son's dad. And I've had them say, like, I don't trust anybody that's that close to that. I'm like, it's nothing going on. I don't trust
Let's talk
anybody
about
that's
it.
that close to they baby daddy or child's father. I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like, you will be more comfortable if we were at
Hated
odds.
each
And
other.
I don't like that.
That's toxic.
I don't, huh?
That's a person that's toxic.
Oh, yeah. And you like that because guess what? Even if we were at odds and we get okay, are you going to be mad about that? You
That
know what I'm
part.
saying? Like I know for sure, like my son's dad's girlfriend, like I know I'm not her favorite person, and I'm like, I'm fine with that.
You know what? That's something else I want to dive into with
Uh huh.
that. So when dating other people, girl, and having the co-parent. Okay, so I don't think that everybody that you when you're co-parenting, I don't think that you should introduce everyone into your child's life when you're
Oh, for
co-parenting
sure.
because because not everyone should have that access to your child. And
Mm-mm.
I think I see it on social media so many times where moms are just going off on the dads because they've introduced they want to have their kids, but they won't let the dads have the kids because they got a new girl around them, or vice versa. But you see so much hatred exposed on social media dealing with the children because they have other people that they're associating with now. And I'm just like, that's what also drew me into when this conversation came up, we were talking about it. And I was like, this is perfect because so much of it we see it.
Mm-hmm.
And girl, let's talk about it. Girl, let's talk about it.
Um, my experience has been different. So for myself, my son has only met two people. Um, One was like 3 years ago, and but he did not meet him until we had been together for over a year.
Mm.
And I was like real adamant, like we were together for a year before either of us, like before I met his son, before he met my son. And then I was with someone last year very briefly. My son met him, but he knew my son. My son didn't know him because we dated like when my son was like 2. So I really didn't count. We were together briefly. So
Mm-hmm.
I would just say like just out really like two people, but really one, because I was like 3 years ago I was like in a real serious relationship, and so like we would do like family stuff. Like my son, his son is crazy because his son and my son had the same birthday, so we were
Oh,
really, but
wow.
it was like a whole year before I even let him meet my son. And even still, it wasn't like no spending the night.
Was that intentional? That year? Was that
Um,
intentional?
about was what intentional about no
That
spending.
year. That
Oh yeah,
year.
we talked about it. Yeah, and I was like, hey, because before then, like my son didn't know. Like the last person I had dated my son was 2. He don't remember. So yeah, he was not, and he was on the same time I was on. Like yeah, like I'm with it. So like my son knew I was dating somebody, and or if I would be on FaceTime and I'm like, I'm on FaceTime. He like, oh okay, but yeah, it wasn't none of that. I wasn't having none of that. And like
I
when the
agree with
year
that.
came, it was like a little bit after a year. It was like, hey, we're gonna meet up here. I had a conversation with my son. Like, are you comfortable? He's like, yeah. It wasn't like you're gonna go meet this person and we're gonna start spending all our time with it. No, it was very intentional.
Mm-hmm. That's smart. That's what more people need to do than co-parenting. Like, I think it's the most respectful thing to do for the child as well as the other person. Like, because for
Girl,
one, you never know how long you're gonna be with this person, and
that
then to introduce them to the child, you want this child to get used to this person when you don't even know how this child is going to play with your child. Not even that, girl. I don't care if you don't introduce them to the child. Now you didn't introduce. Let's say you go and you meet someone on the app, okay? Because that's what everybody do these days. So let's just say you go meet them on the app or whatever, okay? And where y'all gonna go? 9 out of 10, you going back to the man house, or 9 out of 10, you going to the female house. Don't matter, okay? You take them back to your house and what? Now they know your address. Now they know where you stay, where your kid gonna be at half of the time or
yep.
sometime. And I don't think people don't. Oh, I be like, people just don't think this world
They
is
don't think,
crazy.
and because everybody is like rainbows and unicorns when you first meet them, but you got to think afterwards. It's things can go so left. And even with me letting my son meet the last relationship I was in, like I don't. I don't want to say I regret it because it's like you never know if stuff's gonna work out or not. But it was like that having to disconnect, and it's crazy that you bring up the kids. My son could not stand his son. Like my son,
Wow.
like he had got to the point he was like, no, I don't want to go with y'all. And I was like, I'm not gonna force him. Like I never had told him that. It was gearing towards the end, but he was like, no, mom. And so I was like, ooh, that was like
Red flag.
okay, like I gotta take a step back because I'm not about to have him like it. It just all has to make sense, and you never know what's gonna come out of it.
Yeah.
But like my son's dad, girl, it's like sick. My son's dead. Give it down. Everybody, yeah. Yo, I'm laughing, but I am so grateful for every single woman that my son's dad has been in a relationship, whether it was serious dating or somebody just a fling. When I tell you, to this day, it's girls that I am friends with and that stay in contact with me. They have treated my baby with, like, hey, like, my son ain't been with this lady in 5, 6, 7 years. How's Peyton? Can we come get him? Like, have stayed. My son's best friend is
What?
over tomorrow for the weekend. That is his dad's ex-girlfriend. Like, when I tell you, every single woman, that's
Girl.
the thing about my son's dad. He ain't gonna get no trifling. He ain't gonna get nobody trifling, and he ain't gonna get nobody that is not gonna do right by by his children. I have been
That's
so
good.
blessed with that. Like, I will be talking to my son on FaceTime, and the girl, I've had so many girls come in like, hey, I don't know you, but I love your son. Or like, we've been out and they're like, hey, Peyton. I'm like, who's that? They're like, I used to date. And I'm like, oh. When I say all the women my son's dad has come in contact with, whether it was serious or casual, have treated my son top tier. I mean, like, gifts, girl. And I always be like, girl, you gotta come to the birthday parties. Girl, I didn't have different girls at the birthday. I'm like
You
this.
a mess. So
He'll
come
be
on to
like,
the birthday party.
such and such with me. I'll be like, oh, okay. Because I don't care. And I don't say, like, I don't care, like, in a mean way. I'll be like, okay, like, I know he gonna date. Like, they've always been amazing to my son. I have had that conversation with him a while ago. Like, when Peyton was younger, he's like, my dad has, like, a lot of girlfriends. And I'm like, bro, like, he like, oh, yeah. Like, he don't, and I'm just like, but that's him. But, I've never had anybody, and I didn't like it at first, but I'm just like, you know what? His life is his life. My child's never been in harm. My child's never been, like, mistreated and whatnot. Dang, this gonna be mean to say.
That's your favorite line on this show. I see that.
It's, his girlfriend now.
Keep it real.
I,
Mm-mm.
I've never not cared for anybody he's never been with, but this one I'm just like, I told him, I'm like, what's going on? Like, mm-mm.
She don't make the cut, Paris. She don't
No,
make the
and
cut.
I have literally asked him in the past. I'm like, bro, what happened to her? What happened to her? And he'll be laughing. I'm like, you really messed. Like, you really fumbled. But this one, I'm like, I just can't. And I know I'm not her favorite because she was kind of like told him like, when did y'all start getting along? And then the family pictures. So, girl, I'm like, okay, girl, I don't know
Yeah.
what to tell you, but yeah, she's not my favorite. And I want to really like her.
You said I want to like
I
you.
don't like her. I know that is so. I do not, and I want
That's
to.
not bad.
I'm like, it's not me. I don't know. Yeah, that's not my issue. But she don't make the cut for me, and everybody else has.
And
And
she probably just not used to y'all that kind of healthy relationship in a
she's
co-parenting
not.
style.
She's not, and we've had conversation about it. My son's dad and I. He's like, yeah, he mentioned, the pictures. I was like, oh well, she knew we were taking them. She was on
Yeah.
FaceTime when we were leaving the studio. It wasn't like a surprise. So, and there's some other
Mm-hmm.
things behind the scenes too, but I'm like, girl, I have a kid by him, that's enough. I'm like, I
Mm-hmm.
promise I don't want him. I know how it looks, but it's not like that. But yeah, everybody else for him I've absolutely loved. And I'm like, okay, this is it. And then it don't be it. It
Yeah.
don't ever be it. And I've told him, I'm like, I can't pick because all of them have been like truly amazing. And spend an
That's
ample
good.
amount of time with my son too.
Oh wow.
To where my son know they kids, or he had been over their house, he had been over they kids' grandparent, like that. He knows family on their side. So I don't know, but he's been with his girlfriend for a couple years. Girl, I don't know. She's it's cool for now, but whatever works. My son's not being harmed, and she not doing nothing bad to him. Like, I don't like the vibe. I don't. And
Yeah.
that's their
Well, you
issue.
can only keep being you. So you can only
Yeah.
keep being you and
I'm
doing
going
you.
to
I
call that
mean,
phone if I need to. And I
right.
don't care. Put me on speaker, put me on FaceTime. Because if it's something important, if I call you with something important outside of that, I can send you a voice memo or a text. But if it's about our son, girl, I'll call you if he ain't picking up the phone.
Right. It's not if you're not being disrespectful, then what's the problem
Yeah, I'm like, hey, like I promise, like it's nothing like
going
that.
on?
Those that's where it gets the waters get murky for the co-parenting. Your partner, if you
Yeah.
do have one, they got to be okay with that because if I do start dating or I get with someone, I will let them know, like, hey, like my son's dad is gonna pull up. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm dating somebody and we gotta meet you up. Like if it's respectable, I'm not hiding nothing. Like he's
Yeah.
here on the couch and they watching TV, or he's in a room with Peyton. Like we might be playing Uno or something. Like yeah. So and you can come too. You can come too. But I'm not
That's
gonna
the
pick it
thing.
up because I don't know how temporary or long term you may be.
That part. That part. We don't know how long you're gonna be here.
And I'm not about to switch up, and be like, oh, I got a man now. Okay, and my son's dad will respect that as I respect his relationship, but I'm not gonna have stuff just do like a complete, flip-a-roo because I got somebody.
Hmm.
That's not how it works for me. And like I said, I'm really fair.
Yeah. And see, I think people so used to that when it ends, it has to end sourly. No, when it end, it didn't work, and I love you to the point where I love you so much that hey, I want you to go on and be happy. I want to see you in a healthy relationship. I
Yeah,
want you to be successful. I want to come to your wedding. I want to be there for you.
baby, because I'm gonna
Just
bring it.
because we,
I'm gonna bring a gift.
yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
bring
happy
a
for
gift.
you. And it's crazy
Like,
because people always like what you just said. I be telling people, I be like, baby, we was another transparency moment. I'd be like, we was never together. They'd be like, Paris. I'm like, we knew each other and we was cool, but we were never in a committed relationship. I'm being very honest. It was never like, oh my God, I love you. Because we were just having fun. I'm being honest, like we were being irresponsible. Like we were cool, we were hanging out, we had a lot of mutual friends, we all grew up in the same town, went to, like we didn't go to the same high school, but our high schools were on opposite sides of town, and so it was just like cool, but like we were never in like a relationship. And people will be like, well, how was it breaking up with your son's dad? And I don't have a problem saying, I'm like, we was never together. We
things happen.
it happened very quickly, so I always tell people like yeah, and I'm okay with that. Like I tell him now, I'll be like, we love you, I love you. He'll be like, yeah, I love you and Peyton. Like yes, on that level, yes. Like as far as like we ain't never had no arguments about, oh, you cheat. We were never together, so that's why I think it hurt even more that we were going through what we went through at the beginning, because it was like we ain't even coming out of no relationship. This is strictly feelings off of us having a kid together. Which I know some people will argue like,
Hmm.
oh, y'all were responsible. We were. I was 23 when I got pregnant. Like he was 22. So I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know what y'all want to do, but like that's water under the bridge. But that is my story.
Yeah.
So there were no feelings involved. It was more so
Hmm.
like, nigga, I just want you to do like what you're supposed to do. I don't even want you. And it's like no shade, but like we wasn't even together like that. Like we were just seeing each other, and I got pregnant.
Hmm. Until a lot of people, everyone has a different story. I have never heard that one before, though. That people were, some people went together and had a child. So that's a good perspective, a different perspective.
People
I
do.
have
It's
never
the
heard before.
thing. People can casually hook. Like we were dealing with each other for some months. You know what I'm saying? And so people can go out and casually, like I don't know, what night stands or whatever they want, and whoops get pregnant, or can be casually having sex and not get pregnant. I just happened to get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? It's like it
Yeah.
was just a different outcome. So and it happened really fast. Like we
Hmm.
started talking in October. Literally, I was pregnant like in December. Like it happened really fast.
Said bang, bang, bang,
I
bang,
was
bang.
like, whoa. And it happened in the DM. Like, we hadn't seen each other in years. But when people go home on college break to see, like, to
Yeah.
visit their family, it was like on Facebook. He was like, literally, the line, he literally said, hey, big head. And I was like, hey, I haven't seen you in a
Not the
while.
big headline. Not the big head.
And I was like, he was like, well, we exchanged numbers, and, it just is what it is. We can laugh about it now, but we really have gone through some things.
Wow. Not the big headline figures.
Girl, oh, I literally was like, I really fell for, and he's always been like very handsome, in high school. I'm like, ooh, who is that? But like, I never thought, but child, when you get in college, and we were just about to graduate, and he was like, "Hey, big head." I was like, "Hey, what are you
Did them
doing?
did them
Where you
oldies but goodies come
been?"
back?
Yeah,
What you been doing?
yeah. Like he was like, "You still in Dallas?" I was like, "Yup."
That be that second line. You still in such
What you been doing?
and
You know, I'm still out here, no
such.
kids.
Yeah.
Whoops.
What you doing tonight?
I'm talking about girl. Yeah, so I mean, I
Girl.
don't. I feel like co-parenting. Like I would hope that everybody, and I know everybody's story different. Some people can't come back from that. Like some people could have come out of like a domestic violence. I get it, but I'm just like, I think if you can work at it, it's not impossible because some of the stuff that has happened, I will honestly take to my grave with me. But it's just like I know everything is possible. I know people make mistakes. Like I'm so empathetic. I don't forget because now I'm just like I know what you're capable of, but it's like I don't want to
Yeah.
hold that. That's keeping me from being blessed, and I don't want to hold that
Yeah.
in because everybody has their things.
hmm I feel you on that. I definitely feel you on that. And I feel like egos just back to
For
the
men and
egos
women,
for yes,
mostly
definitely
men
so.
though, mostly men.
Mhm. Mostly men, okay.
Because if you
But
if
the
you write it down, what's keeping you? And I'm asking you, like, what do you feel like is keeping you and your daughter's father from co-parenting healthy?
um okay, you flip it on me, Paris. No. What's keeping us? Because I feel like I'm just done. Um, there has been so much turmoil
Mm.
that I feel like for me, I can't turn around. That he's done so much wrong. Like for me, it's just like I can't just erase to be like, all right, let me give you a clean slate. And then also, I feel like she's 10 now,
Mm.
so you
Yeah.
you you've had so many chances and so much time to where
Hmm.
you've done you for so long, and now you like, and in those times it's been in spurts where you've been, okay, I want to be a dad, okay, I want to be a dad. And granted, you love your child, but I feel like if you loved your child, you would have done more than what you've been doing.
And
So
everybody's love is different. It's like the way he loves her is like I don't like that love that you have for her.
yeah,
It's
I
like you
don't.
you loving her in your way, but I ain't fucking with it. Like I don't like that. And when you hit those double digits, your daughter's 10. It just goes like the time goes by so much faster after that. It's like you ain't been able to get your shit together in whatever aspect with her emotionally, whatever.
Right.
10 years. Meanwhile, I'm sure you have elevated. It's like that says a lot about you, sir. And you don't even have her physically full time, so you're making a choice.
Exactly. And it's like I have done the most and you have done nothing. And so it's just like, bruh, what would you, and that relationship, because he's been absent, that relationship has done nothing but like shredded and shredded and shredded and
Mhm.
shredded between her. And so now it's at a point where she don't respect him. She doesn't care. She's at the point now, if the phone ring, I ask her, do you want to speak to your dad? And she'll tell me no. So I don't answer
Yeah.
it. I
Because she
give her
sees
that
it,
choice.
she sees it for what it is, and I'm so glad that you asked her that. And that some people be like, "Your daddy on the phone. You can talk to your daddy." Like, girl, he called once every 6 months. Don't force that child. When I say I hate to see that, like, yo, daddy about to come. So,
Okay.
or I would call them annual. Okay, birthday, Christmas, and I don't know, maybe a school, program or something. It's like you don't even know your
hmm
kid's shoe size. Most men they
That
like,
girl, thank you. Thank you. And then, but I had to grow to that because I used to be the parent that was like, girl, here, your daddy calling, speak to him.
mm-hmm,
You need to be
mm-hmm.
nice. I used to force that. But again, I had to do some self reflecting as a mom. And I'm like, why am I forcing a relationship when he's not even being a father that he needs to
And
be?
that's what you
So,
wanted. You wanted that. She could, it's so much stuff that we want that the kids be like, I could care less. You wanted that.
yeah.
And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's like we want the kids to get excited about that. Or we'll be like,
hmm
your daddy coming or your daddy. And it's just like, and then I'm not going to see him for how much longer? Girl, I don't care.
exactly.
Like, why are you
Exactly.
excited? And I know when
hmm
my son's dad used to not show up for stuff, I would get let down so bad because I'm like, or I would have anxiety so bad, like to where that when he did keep his commitment, this was years ago, like when he was just like all over the place, I would be like, "Ooh, okay, he finally came." But when he would show up, sometimes he wasn't there fully mentally. Like he would be on his phone, or he'd be like, "All right, I gotta leave." I'm just like,
Girl.
why did you even? I used to get so mad at him, like, why did you even come? Or he would be late, or he would leave early, or it's just like, don't come if you're not gonna be fully present.
That part.
You
That
know,
part. And
granted
that's the
it's
biggest
changed, but
thing.
we would go through that, and I'm just like, you're itching to possibly get to something else, like a party or an event, or you probably just hell don't want to be here. I don't want to be here either. I'd rather be at home, but I'm here.
Yeah. Or even to be more transparent, would come and say, I'm coming for your child, or oh yeah, count that as daughter, dad time. But
Hmm.
really you're just coming to be with the mom. Let's
Yeah,
be
because you're not
transparent.
really
Or to
giving
come,
me a break.
and you're not really to come spend time with the with
You're
your
really
child.
pissing me off because I know when you leave here, it's gonna be the same thing.
Girl, amen. Come on, co-parent. Come on.
I
See,
used to get
that's for
so
real, girl.
irritated. You know, I would stop telling my son when he was little. I would be like, let me stop telling him and just wait till he see him. You know, and he got better and better and better at it. Like I think when Peyton started getting older, he's like, okay, I gotta lock in. Like, and this is a son. Like, what man don't want a son and to be their firstborn? Like, that's like another. That's like an ego and a pride thing. Like, oh, I have a son. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So daughters too, but mostly like a son and it to
Son.
be your firstborn. It's just kind of like he was like, yeah, I gotta lock in. And I'm
Yeah.
so very glad that he did. And he gives me my props. Like if he makes an IG story, like I have a shout out to like my oldest kid's moms because Peyton has a sister that's right under him. They're the same age, and he's just like they don't miss a beat.
Oh,
And I respect that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, but all that we have to go through to not miss that beat.
that part. That part. I think fathers definitely need to give us more props than they do.
Sir, I know you can't make up for lost time, but I need you to try to make up for something because the grind don't stop. You know what I'm saying? It's still not stopping. Like I said last week, we're continuing to elevate and we're just exchanging something out for something else. Like, oh yeah, he's a teenager guy. He's about to be in high school. It's like I don't have to watch him every single moment, but now I'm even more
Hmm.
nervous because I can't watch him every single moment. You know what I'm saying? We're going through those bigger steps in life, so I don't know, but the co-parenting thing, I just pray that like everybody could get on that wave because it feels good, but I would be lying if I say I don't get scared sometimes because I'm like you could flip a switch at any time. God knows I don't think that you will, but you could tap into something else and fall back.
Yeah.
It will be crazy for you too, especially the age that our son is at. But I always keep that with me. I'm just like, I know for sure, like I'm never gonna like turn on my son. But I'm like, you could be going through something and be like, hey, I gotta tap out.
Hmm.
I can't make another grown
Hmm.
person do anything.
Exactly. And it's like as a mom, we like that's us from day one. We can't we don't get the opportunity to turn around. We don't get the opportunity to be like, nah, it's on you. We don't get that. A
And
dad
even if we
always
did,
has
we
that
would still
option.
feel guilty.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. We do not get the opportunity. You're so right.
It took
So
me forever to really just not call and text why he has him. I'm like, okay, this is y'all's time because he would be like, "What's up?" I'm like, "What y'all doing?" Like, he said, "I got him," or
what
I'd be
y'all
like,
doing?
"I need to FaceTime." Like, and then once I start getting comfortable with him, having him, like when he was 4, he was like, "Can I take him out of town?" I was like, mind you, this is when he like first met him. I was like, a little bit after he had first like really got a little bit used to him, I was nervous. I was like,
Hell
oh my
yeah.
god, oh my god, oh my god. But I was like, yeah. Even when we were at odds, like I always let him like you got his phone, you got his iPad. Like I've never been one of those moms like, oh you can't see my son like because I never wanted him to come back and be like, oh you said I couldn't see him. No, you can see him. We're not. It's been times where
Hmm.
he has come to a birthday party and we have not said a syllable to each other.
Oh wow.
You here. We ain't gotta
Wow.
talk. Was it strenuous? Yes. Was I ready for the party to be over? Yes. I was on edge, but that's the space that we were in. So you got everybody else around that's happy. the grandparents, both sets of grandparents, hating siblings, and me and him just like, we're literally avoiding each other.
It be like that sometimes, but at least you still present that opportunity for him to be there.
I
Like
would
it
text
be like
him,
that sometimes.
hey, this the address. Like, baby, you ain't even got to respond. And that was if he didn't have me blocked. But, like, his mom would relay the message. I'll never forget one time he was supposed to bring him back for, like, Thanksgiving. And his parents were. And I was like, hey, what time are y'all meeting me so I can get paid? And she was like, well, his dad has him. And I got so quiet. And she literally told me, she was like, y'all gonna have to work this out. Because I was talking to him through her forever. She was like, no. And girl, I was so mad because I had to unblock his number and call him to be like, what time y'all coming back? We hadn't talked for like over a year at that point, and that's what started us up talking. I think my baby was like 6 or 7 then. Girl, it's been so many. His mom was like, nope. She's like, y'all need to work that out.
Yeah.
And I was
It be
so
them mamas.
irritated because I'm like, girl, this been working. Like, nah. Like, it was
She was like,
working
I'm tired
for
of
me.
this.
Yeah, she's like, and I was like, hey. He's like, hey. And, like, we just started talking after that. It's been a journey.
Yeah. It's co-parenting is a journey, and I think it never ends. Even when the child turns 18, it just is something that as long as the child is a child of
Live and
y'all,
breathe.
it's
We
alive and breathing.
possibly gonna share grandkids together. If my son decides to have kids, so it's just like, and it's so
gonna be that.
crazy to see us get older. It's like, I remember when we were, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, here we are. We can sit back and laugh a lot about a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff we can like cry about or relate because we really did not know each other on that level. So honestly, we are literally still, I mean, for the most part, we do know now, but like we were still getting to know each other, like outside of like, oh, what I like, and just like surface level stuff. Like now that we've gotten the co-parenting thing now, like sometimes we tap into different stuff. Like, girl, my baby daddy literally helped me get like my credit to like where it is now. Like he literally like was like, hey, do this, and then this, and I'm just like, thank you.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like it was up, but like the last like 4, 5 maybe months, he's like, do this, and he'll be sending me stuff like he's like, okay, you got to do this, okay, pay for like. He has done some other stuff, like, okay, I'm gonna put you on this so this can like, and he's giving back to me in those ways. So I'm like, I appreciate it. Like he really helped me get some stuff together, and I'm like, that's where that friendship comes in too. Because it's like, I'm not paying you for this. I had a whole kid for you.
He's a whole kid for you.
You owe me. Like, you're gonna forever owe me, sir. Like, I had your firstborn, but some people be like, oh, how do you deal with the other moms? I'm just like, me and the second, oh, like we're cool. Like we're probably the closest. And then it's been like real touch and go with the other ones. Like honestly, like somebody is always, for the most part, like not talking to it can get very murky. It can get real.
Yeah. I'm sure it's baby mamas, I'm sure.
And sometimes we all talk like, or this one or that, like everybody, but right now everybody is minding their business. Because like nobody is one, like I'll know if he's talking to him like, hey, you won't, like I know when he's maybe on bad terms with somebody or odd terms. It's kind of, everybody has their go round, and again, you're dealing with multiple personalities. You don't know what they going through. Everybody has their own household. So, but as long as he is, I guess, like on a straight and narrow with everybody separately, like we don't all have to be kumbaya, because that's a lot. And who wants to deal with that on a daily basis? I be telling him like, he keeps the kids together. You want to keep them together, visiting, cool. Because I've done that for so many years, and it's drained me. So I'm like, now you can step up and like take over that, because I was the like main one. Like, hey, we're getting photo shoots. He making sure the kids see each other, and like that shit was draining.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
It
That's a
was
lot you
because
gotta do
I'm
and get
like,
together.
I'm like, hey, I want them to be together, and I'm sure you will make that happen. But as far as me being the organizer of stuff like that anymore, like those days are behind me, and it's no tea, no shade, but baby, it gets draining being the only one having done that before and taken initiative to do that. Especially, I'm just like, it's time for you to do that, which I know he will. But again,
Mm-hmm.
that's not. I can only worry about the relationship I have with him and our son.
Facts on what's under your household.
Yeah, because for so many times I'll be like, well, how's it going with da-da-da? Or he'll be like, tell me, or how's it? He'll be like, oh, and I'm just like, one day I was like, Paris, that is not any of your business. Not that he wouldn't tell me, but I'm like, girl, that is literally not your business.
Mm-hmm. So true.
So I just
Y'all.
do what I'm supposed to do now.
Okay. Well, y'all, we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk some more with Paris before we finish wrapping up the night. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Understand I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Dead or alive, I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. I had to shed tears on this one. Best believe I'ma paint the city red behind this one. Real nigga, why you pull a trigger on this one? A moment of silence for the dead, we lost a real one. Yeah, smoke up in the city like a vapor. Hold one up on me, I make her me her maker. Big bro, taught me 35 ways to get some paper. And it's middle finger to you motherfucking haters. OG status, since he was a young nigga, say. Real in that field since he was a young nigga, say. Been on go since he was a young nigga. Did them 17 years and he stayed solid like a real nigga. Loyalty, what he stood on. Started fucking with this roach ass sad alley bitch. When he came home, blindsided cause it was his baby mama. Shiesty hoe, can't trust these hoes. Say these hoes will get you killed, bro. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Dead or alive, I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Standing on this whole head like I'm standing on business. Got a 30 round drum and I'ma shoot it to its empty. Since you been gone, I've been feeling kinda empty. I'm just grieving right now, but I'm not looking for no sympathy. Life gon' keep going, you hoes ain't stopping up, you understand? I'm a rapper, but I'm still a gorilla, yeah, you understand? Lady life been feeling kinda creepy. Big bro got so much street credit, get you gone for the freebie. Dirty feet, friendly pussy, slut bucket, bitch, we call it red flag. Big bro, you should've known better the way you rock that red flag. I couldn't believe my eyes when I seen them people put you out in that body bag. Damn, my nigga, I'm talking about a body bag. Fuck me up, I viewed your body. That shit made me gag. You was covered from your head to your ankles. First thing I seen was a motherfucking toe tag. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you. Dead or alive, I'ma be right there for you. Understand I'ma be right there for you.
Papa, you crazy for this one.
Putting on her clothes with her designer shoes. Grabbed her by her neck and let her see my family juice. Now she tryna take a family cruise. I told her stop. We brought them heaters. Them bitches hitting real hard like some speakers. You need some saving? Go find a preacher. Cause we all kicking in, ain't no leeches. Lil' mama bad, she a eater. She stick by a nigga, love how I treat her. I move them bags on my leisure. Flooded AP, bitch, new freezer. Yeah. I live my days in sin. I pray to God within. I know it's time to win. I run it like again. Scooter is the realest. Scooter is the trillest. Get up out your feeling. Need to go get some healing. Cause they really sleeping. I never really was creeping. Somebody call up LA. It's time for a fucking meeting. Tell Hov I need my meeting. They say I'm here breathing. I got plenty of ceiling. It's time to do some feeding. Chef Scooter is proceeding. Chef Scooter is that nigga. Chef Scooter cook it up. Chef Scooter whip it up. Chef Scooter turn it up. You bout to get it up. Chef Scooter, Chef Scooter, Chef Scooter. Hey. I live my days in sin. I pray to God within. I know it's time to win. I run it like begin. Scooter is the realest. Scooter is the trillest. Get up out your feeling. Need to go get some healing.
And we back, and we back, and we back. All right. Okay, we back for real, for real, for real. Hey y'all, we back. I hope y'all been tuned in tonight because we've been getting some real with Miss Paris on co-parenting and single and co-parenting. And I hope y'all been writing notes because honey, it's been getting good. We definitely been setting out some gems on co-parenting tonight, how to have a healthy co-parenting lifestyle, and how to just, take the egos away and how to remove the negativity in co-parenting. Um, and so, Paris, before the break, we was talking about different things in co-parenting, just on, just the different styles that you have and how things have worked and not worked, in the lifestyle of co-parenting itself. And so, and within myself, and I appreciate you asking me the question that you asked me on like how,
Sure.
why it wouldn't work and why it won't work. Would I ever go back with co-parenting with my situation with my daughter's father? And how I was explaining that. Um, and again, I want to revisit it back with the situation with dating. Again, we were talking about the photos that you took with your child's father, and I think that's so significant because again, we don't see that a lot. You
Yeah.
don't see a lot of that healthy lifestyle when it
Don't.
comes to co-parenting, and I think we should see more of that. Even if you don't get along, I think the the who really benefits from that is the child. they're
For
able
sure.
to see that you're able to get along. And I wanted to also piggyback on something you said earlier. You were like when your child was like saying that, that, mom, y'all laugh together, y'all smile. I remember my daughter did the same thing. One year, me and her dad were, I don't know if we were coming back from something, maybe playing outside or something. Me and her dad have always been big jokesters, and we've always laughed. We've always, before her, we've always had a good time. Always, we had so much in common. And she did the same thing to me. She was like, you and dad always, laughing, and you do like him. And I was like, huh? I didn't, it caught me off
Yeah.
guard.
It
And
just
I was
is
like,
like that you realize how much she was paying attention.
yeah.
Hmm.
And I was there to tell her, like, I don't hate your dad. I
Hmm.
don't hate him. And I was like, I just dislike the things that he do. You know what I mean?
Right,
And I
right.
had to break it down to understand that, even though we don't live together, we still support you and the things that you have when I know it's truly me. But I
Exactly.
know we support the things that you do. And that's another thing. Kids truly feel the vibes. They feel what's
Oh
going
yeah.
on. They hear your conversation, you
Uh-huh.
know. And I had to realize that too. And that's another thing. Co-parenting is all about learning. It is
Being
about learning.
learning, being selfless.
Yes.
Um, because I know you say even if you don't get along, I gotta be honest. If me and my son's dad weren't in a good spot, I would not have been taking those pictures. Like, child, we would have had to have a talk, but we had already come so far since then. It wasn't. Let me back up. It was not even supposed to be like that. It was supposed to be me and Peyton, and then I was like, let me ask. I was like, hey, me and Peyton are taking pictures. I was like, it's neat. I was like, you want to take pictures with him? And he was like, yeah, cool, cool. And like, I told him, I was like, hey, this is what we gonna wear. Da 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 da. And then I was like, we need to like make this a family thing. Like, and he was like, bet. Mind you, my son's dad, and I think this is like most men. I said this off break. You cannot make a man do nothing he don't want to do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he could have been like, nah, like let's just but some side of me was like, I know he was gonna say no, but then I'm like, he had that right to, So even up until we got in the studio, he could have been like, hey, I just wanted to be you and Peyton, me and Peyton, and some solos, but like he was like, cool, like we was with it. We're a family, like we got changed and back together. Like it was no type of disrespect, going on. Like we all, there were dressing rooms, bathrooms we changed in, and we were back there joking and stuff. And when I tell you, I really got emotional because I was like, if we don't ever take like another picture together or have like another moment together, which of course we did after that, I was just like, I'm grateful for that because that meant a lot to me. Like to some people, it was like, oh, it's just pictures, but that like really meant a lot to me and him. And he was telling me one of the baby mamas was like, he's like, now they all want to take pictures, and I started laughing, and I was like, well, how did they see the pictures? Because like I'm not friends with them. I'm friends with one on social media, and then he said, oh, I sent them to him. I was like,
Oh, you out of
I was
pocket.
like, you here?
You messy.
I was like, you being messy, and so I was like, I said, yeah, those pictures cannot be recreated. No, and he was like, I know, no, I was like, I know, and I hate to say this. No, he was like, I told them, like, I mean, I'll take pictures with my kids, but not with them. I was like,
Oh, oh, he out of pocket. Sip that tea. He said,
I'll
"I'll
take
take
pictures
pictures
with
with the
my kids,
kids."
but not. I'm like, y'all, like, no, he's not. Girl, he's not getting in the picture. No shit. Like, he's just, let me tell you something. And I know he hasn't said it, but I know, like, he probably feels like, not even like, oh, I owe you, but we did go through a lot, with our son. So in like the relationship and the friendship that we have now, it's just kind of like cool. Like I don't mind. Like if I was problematic like I was back in the day, and so was he, would at first I would have been like a big hell no. But we talked
Yeah.
about it, and he wasn't like, oh, let me think about it. He was like, cool. Like everything just went so seamless, and we had such a great time that day, and it was just like cool. Like, we got dressed here at the house, and then we got dressed in our second outfit whenever we got to where we were going. So it was literally like a whole family day.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't have minded if maybe, it's gonna sound mean.
Take another day. Go
I
ahead.
love his other children, but that photo shoot was for us and our son.
I feel that.
If that, like, I don't care, like, get the, I don't know, like, get them, like, he can do something with them together, of course, but I'm like, it's like everybody has their own little piece of him. And again, that is sometimes the down, I guess, like, downward spiral, or like the down parts about having multiple kids by different people.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is not going to feel the same way. Like I said, I've done so, like, that he knows how much I love his other kids, but I still have to save something for my son. You know, I still
He's
have
your
to,
first. He's his first. He's the oldest,
exactly.
right?
And we're literally just now, we're trying to make up for a lot of time. And then I get it, like, it's been times he's went to visit his other kids, like, recently, not too long ago, like, my son and one of his other daughters went to see one of his other kids. I don't know how that mom felt. I'm sure she didn't mind, but at some point it's just like, hey, I want this to be time with just us and our kid. But he had them, so I was like, hey, sure, my kid's coming.
Yeah.
You know?
So was he there for the other mom's pregnancies?
My son's dad is fair. Nobody gets special treatment. So the answer would be no.
Okay, because I know you said he wasn't there for yours.
And
So he wasn't there for theirs neither.
no. And
Oh, okay, it's good. I know that sounds bad to say it's
no,
good,
that's
but
fair though. Like, no, that's what I
yeah,
said.
that's
Nobody
fair.
got special
Yeah.
treatment, baby. Everybody got the same treatment. Like,
Okay.
I was no, and I think about that. I've never had this conversation with him, but I'm like, you didn't see any of your kids being born.
Yeah.
And that's not something for me to worry about, but I do think about it, because it was a choice. It was a choice that he made. I'm sure he has regrets about it, but that's something that he has to, deal with. But
Yeah.
you can't keep making these conscious decisions. And another transparent moment, like, I know people are like, when you get pregnant, like, oh, you have choices, if you don't want to keep the pregnancy and what have
Yeah.
you. Everybody is not going to do that.
That
Everybody
part.
is not for that.
I feel like you lay it down, you do it, you grown up to wake up and handle your business.
Everybody's not. I will say, like, I'm pro choice. I'm like, hey, whatever works for you. But I will say everybody's not going to do that. And I think that some men sometimes be like, oh, well, she already knew how many, like, again, I will say this, and this isn't anything to toot my horn about, but I didn't come behind anybody. Like, I'm his first, like, I didn't have any examples of to be like, oh, he already got like 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Like, like, baby, we can have fun. But so I didn't know. But I feel like if somebody has, and again, there was still something irresponsible done. Everybody has to take accountability. But if I know what I'm coming in behind, and this person has kind of already set the stage, like, hey, we both know what we're doing. You don't need to have this, or I'm not, and someone continues to. I don't want to argue, oh, that's fair or unfair treatment, but it's like you kind of already knew. I didn't know. Like, I was young. It's not like somebody was like, hey, you already know he got like a couple kids or a kid. Because before I got before I got pregnant, like, I didn't date anybody with kids because I didn't have kids. So what the hell am I dating somebody with kids for? So I wasn't even dealing. I never even like dealt with anybody even on a casual level that had kids, because I'm like, I don't want to hear shit you got going on about your kids. I don't care about
kids, girl. Yeah.
kids. I want to hear.
But now look, I date with somebody. I'm dating intentionally with somebody who has kids. Things have changed, girl. I feel you.
Right. So I would not have even entertained my son's dad had he had a child. But I just
Mhm.
kind of feel like, and I'm such a girl's girl, and I'm like, do whatever you want. But I feel like if you kind of already knew, and you knew, so what? It's a
What was you
pattern.
gonna do?
You know, you see this
Yeah,
person's pattern. Not saying this person is good or bad, but you see they have a pattern. So I feel like you're putting yourself at risk for
yeah,
falling in line.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know what? To be fair, I'm sure that the other moms probably feel some type of you owe me from him, the same kind of you owe me. Not the same you owe me, but to
But you
some
owe me.
level of you owe me. Yeah, because you wasn't there for the birth of your child. They feel some level from him of you owe me too.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sure.
and I wouldn't even call it entitlement. It's like I would feel like I feel like that, and I feel like that too about them. Like I have told him sometimes before, like, hey, like, bro, like you, like even though me and him are on really good terms, I'll be like, have you talked to? He like, no, I'm like, when you gon' like when you gonna handle it? He like, I know, I'm gonna get around to it. Like we ain't talking now. I'm like, that's very important. That's very important for me. That's why I know some people be like, I ain't worried about that. That ain't my. It's like, granted, it's none of my business, but I can't help but to be concerned because one, I'm a girl's
I'm
girl,
a
and two,
mom.
like, yeah,
Yeah,
oh my god, you hit the nail on the head. I am a mother, and also I've been in that position where we ain't
exactly,
on good terms, and you may
exactly.
be on good terms with I don't know 2 and 4, or maybe not 3 and 5. Like I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I've been there. I'm just like. It's like a carousel. Like it's your turn, and I'll be like, and I will tell him like, you already know the stuff we went through. Like, don't do that. But he has told me he
Mhm.
has literally said, I feel like I owe you the most because I did you the worst.
Mm.
And I
Mm.
literally cannot argue with that because he did. Um, I don't
And
want to
that's
say
hard. That's tough to hear. That
yeah, he had something he's like, I know I completely abandoned you when you were right. He did, and I was just like, yeah, like you
wow.
abandoned everybody else, but baby, you did me something
Some
dirty.
serious.
Something
Yeah.
serious. Yeah, to where I don't want any more kids, but when I did kind of possibly entertain the thought, like what my son's dad, like what we went through, when I tell you, I said it's not worth taking a chance.
Hmm.
And I said, God, I hate that I'm never going to be able to experience that. One, my son is about to be 14 in August. It's a hell no. And two, it's a big hell no. It's just like I
That
feel
part.
like I don't want to put all this responsibility on my son's dad because it's like those are my feelings, but I feel like, man, you really messed it up for me. Like I'm so triggered in certain ways, and I'm just like not hearing from you my entire like you just literally like ghosting me. Like I'm so terrified of somebody waking up one day like, you know what? I don't want to do this.
Girl, that
I
neglect
honestly
is
know I don't
real.
have the mental capacity to deal with that. I know I would be some baby. Y'all would have to have me locked up somewhere. Like I know that I would mentally. I know I wouldn't even be able to be there for myself. Like I honestly feel like that would take me up out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. That neglect is real. Like I didn't go through that, but I went through when my daughter's father, because he had ended up getting on drugs and he was on drugs during the time of my pregnancy and
Wow.
sporadically afterwards. Yeah. And sporadically afterwards. So when he would because of that, when we were living together, and so he would always leave a lot because he was on drugs or, he was out the house a lot. So
Mm-hmm.
when he was at the house a lot, girl, it came to the point where I would get off of work, I would come home, he would leave. Well, now to even to this day, when people would come to my house or I'm at home, girl, I always looked back in the day, because he would always take me. I would go home. He would always have his shoes on, girl. When he would have them shoes on, I knew he was leaving. If his shoes were
Mm-hmm.
off, I knew he was staying home. So
Mm-hmm.
till this day, when my daughter is first thing in the house, take your shoes off. When my mom's in the house, take your shoes off. I'm
Mm-hmm.
always quick to tell people take their shoes off when they're in the
Yep.
house because I feel like they're gonna leave me. And it's
Yep.
been something I've been constantly trying to work on for years.
It's that
But
fear
I
of
always,
abandonment.
yeah, it
That's what
is.
it is.
And And it shows up, girl. It shows up all the time. And I be like, I have to catch myself, be like, tell people to take their shoes off. And I be so like, just get comfortable. Take your shoes off.
Yeah, because it's like a comfort thing. Like, okay, if I know you take your shoes off, you're gonna be here for a little bit. Like, it
Yeah, because I
shows
know you're
up
not gonna
in the
leave
most
me.
smallest ways that people would think, but that's so big for you. And in
Hmm.
that moment, I feel like that kind of makes you feel a little bit more calmer and comforting. Like, okay, they'll be here. They're not
Yes.
gonna leave. And that is so scary. When I say that is scary,
Yeah.
that is scary. And you don't know how it's going to show up. Like, and I've never told like Peyton's dad this. I'm like, when he knows, I'm like, nigga, you did a number on me. Like, I don't ever want to be
Hmm.
like, you're the reason I don't want to have another kid. But it is. Like, I'm terrified because I'm so
Yeah.
scared that one, someone could do me like you did me, or two, someone could do me. Can you imagine? There are people out there that would do me worse.
Worse, girl.
Worse. Like, my
Worse.
mom told me that before. She was like, it was bad, but she was like, PJ, my family calls me PJ. She goes, you know that unfortunately someone would do you worse. And I could not even stomach listening to that. I'm like, and when I find out what you're capable of and I have to maneuver around you, that's scary for me because now I just can't handle you like a normal person. Like, I feel like I always have to be on high alert with you.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Now my nervous system is all upped up. It's not regulated. I gotta think a different way. Like, oh, such and such coming. I know how. I'm not playing these mind games because at the end of the day,
That
it's not
part.
like it's a mind. It's a mind game.
Yep. And I always feel like you're somebody trying to mind fuck you the whole time. Like I
The
gotta stay
whole and
two
now I
steps
gotta
ahead of you.
and I can't just be myself, the friendly, open person that I am. I gotta play these games with you. I'm exhausted, honey. I don't want to
That
play.
part.
You know, you can
That
go.
part.
I don't want to play these games. You're manipulating. Like, and I have had men tell me, "You're so selfish for not wanting to have another kid." Do you know how many men have told me that? Like, oh,
What?
you're still young. You can have a couple more.
What? Girl.
Men, I'm gonna say this. This is a different topic, but I swear I'm gonna say it real quick. Men do not like to see women that have one child or no kids because they feel like that's a different level of freedom. Like, how dare you have freedom? Like, how dare you have autonomy over your body? Like, you know, a man like, you don't want no more kids. Like, no, why not? That's selfish. That is just for you to try to sit me down. I already know where this is going, baby.
Girl, you know what? That is a different topic, but note it real quick. I when I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer and I had my surgery, had my ovary taken out. Prior to that, I had to have a few years ago, I had to have a hysterectomy. And so I was crying my balls out the first time for the hysterectomy. Fast forward to last year, cried my eyes balls out for the ovarian surgery I had. So being diagnosed with ovarian cancer, girl, I was just having depression, everything. And what hit me the most was I didn't want to be that one friend in the conversation when we talk about kids. I didn't want to be the one to say that I can't have kids no more because I always felt like there's one woman when you're talking about kids that always says I can't have kids. And
Yep.
I didn't want to be that because I only had one. And so, but I had to reflect that and I had to learn. And I was like, you know what? God gave me one. Some people don't have none. At
Yep.
least I have one.
Yep.
And so, and what you said came into, I thought about that. I was like, you know what? Some, there is some men that that do want you to have more kids. And I was like, what if I start dating and there's a man that wants more kids?
You
Like,
just
what,
had that
or, you know
conversation.
what I mean?
Anybody I even have a conversation with, I don't care. So like, that'll scare them off. I said, do you want more kids or do you want kids? Yes.
Bye.
I'm
Yep.
not changing
That's
my
what I just,
mind. You're not convincing me. And if you do convince me, I'm going to resent you. Like, so let's not, no. And you know
yep,
what? Putting my body at risk and my life at risk like that again is not worth it.
that part. I said, God gonna send me somebody who got kids, so I ain't really worried about it.
Oh, baby, I
It's just
love me.
gonna be
I love a blended family, baby. I love me
okay.
a blended family. I love some good grown kids too.
Okay.
I don't want to go to a pre-K recital. Sorry.
Girl, I don't want to buy diapers. I'm sorry.
I
Formula, no.
I just, you know, and some people are like, don't you want your, oh, my mom always says, you don't have to have a baby for everybody that you're with. And there are married couples that don't have kids, and that's fine. Like, that doesn't mean because I don't have a kid for you. That doesn't mean that I love you any less, honey. Do you know that that's the next closest thing that happens to like giving birth? Like that's the next closest thing to death for a woman. Like people just think,
Mm.
oh, she's pregnant, she can have it. You don't know what's gonna happen to me.
What's
People
gonna
have had
happen?
healthy pregnancies and got on that delivery table
Okay.
and not got off. So first of all, a lot of men want to do this with no ring, just to say,
Mm. She got a
she
baby.
got my baby. Excuse me?
Mm.
And then again, they don't want you to like. It's kind of like a how dare you not want any more kids? You're right. How dare me? How dare me to be so smart and to know that you might wake up with a wild hair up your ass one day and want to leave. Now I got two
Thank you.
kids.
Stuck like Chuck.
Girl, I'm looking for the
Good
nearest
day.
hospital because I can't believe this. No, I always say, baby, you got me one time. You won't get me
Won't give
again.
me again.
You won't get me
Period.
again because it's so easy for a man to
Period.
pick up. And then now I got to co-parent again. Now I got to get to know somebody else's personality, and I don't. And now I got to get to
Yeah.
know your side of the family. That's what I said earlier. You inflict and not even just pain, but like so much of that behavior on multiple people. It's not just like, oh, it's you and the dad. It's like, well, their family might be hands on. They want to be involved. Now I gotta share my child with these different people. I don't know how this person gonna react. I don't know if the mama want to be involved.
Yeah.
I don't got time for that.
There's yeah. It's so much that comes into co-parenting. Like co-parenting is a lot. Dating is a lot. Dating while co-parenting is a lot, y'all.
The grandparents.
I
People don't talk about the grandparents enough. You know how many times I got into it with my baby daddy's mama? Girl. Like, and I'm just like, it's
it's a
been times
lot.
I'm like, oh great, I'm not talking to you or her, so I'm only talking to his daddy. I'm only talking to the grandpa. And
It's a
then
lot. Blended families in general is a lot. Blending and co-parenting in general,
it's
because you
a
have
it's a lot. You're not just
it's a
dealing with
lot.
you and the child and the other parent. Like, I mean, we're all good now, but I gotta think about it too. This is her
Yeah,
child. She dealing with these women that are way younger than her. We got attitudes. We mad at your son. We can't really get to your son like we want to. You're low key in some situations taking up for him or just saying like, "Hey, I ain't got nothing to do with that." You know, it's so many
mhm,
different. And then I had to think one day. I know this lady is tired.
yeah,
She don't want to. You know, I know she done had these talks with her son, but at the end of the day, what can you do? So it's so many different layers. You're not only dealing with your child and the other parent, you're dealing with their family as well. And if they got
yeah,
brothers and sisters, now you're dealing with the aunties and the uncle. Girl, it's a whole like show that I always tell people
mhm,
like, why you want to be a part of this circus?
exactly. But
I be
I'm
literally telling people, why do you want to be like, no tea, no shade to, the baby mamas that knew, but you didn't take like some extra thought, especially when you had the information like on the. I just don't, it's like, why would you want to sign up for this? I don't know. I guess
yeah,
because everybody thinks like, oh, it's going to be different. It's going to be a different story, but it's going to be the same narrative. I promise you. Like, for the most part, it's going to be the same.
mhm, facts. That's
If
why I'm so
somebody would
glad
have told me,
you.
even an inkling, like, hey, like, this ain't gonna go how you, what?
Yeah,
I did, like, out of there, but I didn't, baby, I was the example. And I wish I had somebody to be like, hey, you know that he got somebody pregnant, or he has a couple kids, or however many. Like, that wasn't the case. Like, I was better up. I was the first one.
but you definitely have shown the light in how to have a healthy co-parenting lifestyle and
And I
to
didn't
be
have
able
nobody to
to
show.
show that right, and you had nobody to show you and to
Mhm.
actually be in a healthy co-parenting lifestyle. Yes, it took time to get there, but you made it there and it's there now, and I'm so thankful that like you came on the show today to show that and gave us that, and I thank you so much for that.
I thank you for
You
letting me
definitely
tell my story.
Yes, thank you for sharing with us. You gave us gems, honey. We got some tools to go use. I even got some back to go use. And I just thank you so much for that. Can you give us like give them your handles? How can they reach you if you have some
Yeah.
other moms that may want to reach out to you with questions on
Oh
co-parenting?
yeah, for sure. So on, y'all still got Facebook for family. It's gonna it's gonna be my government. Paris is spelled just like the city. Honeycutt with two T's. So Honeycutt, HONEYCUTT. My Instagram handle is Paris __ no Hilton. And I'm also on TikTok as Paris Honeycutt. And I think my handle is PJ. It's my initials. So yeah, if anybody wants to inbox me, I'm open. I don't know everything, but I know a little bit about a lot of stuff. So, and I'm open to talk.
Y'all, please hit up Paris. She definitely shared a lot of her story tonight. And I admire you just for sharing your story
Thank
and
you.
giving us the do's, the don'ts, the misses, and just everything all in co-parenting, being single and how things can work and how things don't work, and being your true authentic self tonight. Like that was real, and I appreciate you for being real.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you for
Most
having me on your
definitely.
show again. I love it. I love what you're doing. Keep going. You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you, love. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Y'all make sure you tune in with my girl Paris before we go out tonight. You guys, just remember a few announcements. Again, give it up to yourself because you made it to Thursday. To be Tuesday. Make sure y'all look out for that for next week's for To Be Tuesday. This week was the movie Tempted. Go cock your cocky gear. At SpenceCockyGear.com. Get your sling bag for the summertime, for our travels, and for our kiddos with the snacks. Make sure you check out Inspire Her Foundation for your women's resources. And also check out Mommy's Night Out, okay, for all my Black women out there. Make sure you check out Paris has info for that as well.
Yes.
And we will check y'all out with next week's conversation. We will be starting our June edition. June has a Father's Day. So all month of June, we will be having a host of all types of men on this episode. So just come forth and welcome all the men, guys. We're gonna talk fatherhood for the whole month of June. So I'm looking forward to that. We got some special guests as well that will be joining in, just as we did for Miss Paris. So I'm really excited, and we may even talk some more co-parenting with these fathers, right there, right, Miss Paris?
Okay.
Uh,
I want to hear that.
Okay. So y'all stay tuned for that. I will see y'all next Thursday from 7 to 9 p.m. on Nostalgic Radio. If you're tuned in, if not, make sure you go subscribe to the Real Raw Let's Talk on the YouTube channel. Don't forget. And I'll see y'all next week. We out.
All right.